This is Rob Smith, and I'm robbing a few minutes. I thought I was going to wait to do this probably for another week or year, or maybe a few decades, maybe, a few hundred years from now when I'm feeling better. But here I am again, because I learned today is Book Lovers Day, and guess what? I love books. So let me show you some books I love. Please consider finding these authors if you can. I mean, a lot of these books are non-print anymore, but see if you can find some of these writers, wonderful writers. And at the end, I have a little offer. If you want to take advantage of, feel free to. I thank you very much, and let me show you some books. And now for the books I love to read, the writers I love. This is Dorothy Parker. I love Dorothy Parker's work. It is just from the poems to the stories. She's just a really, really great writer and one of my favorites. Jack Douglas. You probably, if you were of a certain age, older, you probably heard his work on various television programs, and he was a perennial guest on The Tonight Show and so many others. This actually by someone who became a friend, Roy Doty, and I actually got to know Roy Doty's cartoon work by getting Douglas's book out of the library back when I was in junior high school, and I came to connect Doty's work to Douglas, and it was so neat to years later meet him and talk to him about doing these covers. He did most of the covers for the Douglas books. Anyway, Jack Douglas, his wife Rico, his children, these are hilarious. Shut Up and Eat Your Snowshoes. There's also poignant parts in this one too. What a hilarious writer. These books, this is very hard to find. I love S.J. Perelman, greatest humor writer I think ever came out of this country. Another cartoonist, Al Hirschfeld, illustrated a number of these and went with Perelman on many of his trips, which a number of these have to do with traveling, like Westward Ha, in which Hirschfeld and Perelman went around the world, which Perelman did a number of times. Just hilarious writing. Kind of hard to find. Funny how cartoonists are connected to humorists. This is how I found these. When I was in elementary, junior high school, I would wander over to the cartoon section initially, but it was next door, right beside it, were the humor. And that's where I discovered Benchley and Douglas and Parker and so on. But anyway, Robert Benchley, you may have seen the shorts that are currently, have been playing for a long time in Turner Classic Movies back from the 30s and 40s, well, 30s until he died there in the 40s. Just hilarious writer. Another one, Alex Wolcott, just unbelievably funny writer, humor. And oddly enough, it's Wolcott, Benchley, not Perelman, oddly enough, but Parker, who are all part of the Algonquin Round Table, which also included Edna Ferber and Kaufman, another great writer, George S. Kaufman, but he never really wrote a book. Okay, where am I? I love involving just general fiction. Michael Malone's Handling Sin is really one of my favorite written books. It's a little long. Malone, in his 50-odd years of writing books, has only, I think, written 8 total, or 9 total now. Great book. Guilty Pleasure. I discovered this while doing a USO event over in Pensacola. I pulled 3 Western writers, including what turned out to be the very first in a series by this fellow, William Johnstone. It turns out that there are some 400 books involved with it. I've got a good many of them now. Love Johnstone's books. They're really good with character, and I never was a Western fan until 4 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago when I discovered Johnstone. Involving mystery, I love Edmund Crispin. He wrote very few books, and this is a treasury. I've got a number of the individual ones, but these are very good. They're like Colin Dexter's. He only wrote a few books back in the 30s and 40s. Dexter, of course, was later with his Inspector Morse. Politics, the best book I've ever seen, ever seen, involving politics, is oddly enough about Florida. I'm going to talk about Florida books, and you can find that on Swampy's Florida for Book Lovers Day, is His Honor the Mayor by Carl Langford. The best book I have read about politics. Very honest, very straightforward, very, very good. Anybody running for politics should read this book, if you can find it. Very hard to find, by Carl T. Langford. All right. That is for Book Lovers Day. Thank you all very much. I am going to do some drawing videos. I have to thank the Rodins. The video I posted earlier today. Emmy and Bajin, that I'm doing a second one here. I'm going to start doing some art ones here shortly with me drawing, and that'll be coming up here probably here in the next week. And I'll actually draw a little of something. What I may actually do is, and if you're listening, if you're this far in, if you would like me to draw something, post it underneath, and I'll draw something, and I'll do it video-wise. So if you're this far in, you've listened to this, and I'll actually see if you're in my pathway, my crossroads, I'll actually give you the artwork too. Nothing too extensive, just a simple drawing of something, whatever, a cat, dog, whatever, trees, Florida scene, something simple. Let me see what I can do. All right, thank you very much. Please read. Book Lovers Days, a day to love books. I should share what I'm reading now. I may do this weekly, something here involving books. I'll maybe go along with some artwork. All right, thank you very much. This is Rob Smith. Rob in a few minutes. This is a little more than a few minutes this time. See you later. Bye.